Welcome back. The time right now, 5:50, and it's also time for a little fun with science.
Yes, indeed. Joseph Knight, the Director of Education and Exhibits at Kidsenses Museum in Rutherfordton, is back with us this morning, and we're talking about cloud formation?
Yes, we are. We are going to do a super fun experiment that we do for our visitors all the time at the museum. We are going to create a cloud in a bottle. And literally, that's what we're going to do.
Not
we're
a
going to
genie
create
in a bottle, a cloud in a bottle.
So we're going to make a cloud in this bottle. And the way that we're going to do it is I'm going to take a special type of liquid, and I'm going to pour it into the bottle like so.
What's your special liquid?
Now, the liquid in here is rubbing alcohol.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Now, are you going to make cirrus, stratus, cumulus?
You're working with a meteorologist here. Sorry, I should have
We're
warned you,
going to attempt to create a cumulus cloud.
Cumulus cloud.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So here's how we're going to do it. We are going to put our liquid under pressure using this air pump. So I'm going to pump it about 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more for good measure.
Why not, right?
Now we're going to count down from 3 together.
Okay.
When we get to 1, I'm going to release the pressure and we'll see what happens. So, are you ready to count down?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Take a look at that.
That's mostly cloudy. I'm not a meteorologist, but I
cloud in
know.
the bottle.
That's mostly cloudy.
That's awesome. How fun is that?
Yes, and last week at the museum, we did this activity with about 50 kids at the museum.
Yeah.
We have a lot of field trips that request this particular type of science demonstration.
Now, we've got families that are doing spring break as well. Can we come down and bring the kids and check out what's going on, too?
Oh, absolutely. During spring break, we're going to have all sorts of fun and exciting science demonstrations happening at the museum. So we'll be creating cloud in the bottles and chemical reactions and all sorts of other fun things.
And you know, one thing that's interesting, if you get kids in the early ages interested in this now, is they head on to high school, especially with chemistry. They will do better at it. The studies show that.
Absolutely. It's super important to capture the curiosity and imagination of children when it comes to science. And that's why at Kidsenses we have such a heavy STEM focus. We want to expose young people to these types of science experiences.
That's a really cool experience.
That's neat.
So much fun. And can we get you to hang out and do a little more fun with us a little bit later?
Oh, yes. If you thought this was fun, wait till you see our next experiment.
Ooh.
Aha.
This is going to be a good
There's a
time
tease
this
for
morning.
you.
Remember, you can find out more. We'll have a link to the Kidsenses site for you at WLOS.com. Click on Newsroom.
Joseph, thanks always.
That's no problem.
Welcome back. The time right now, 6:51. It's also time for a little fun with science right now.
That's right. And we call on our buddy Joseph Knight, who's the Director of Education and Exhibits at Kidsenses Museum in Rutherfordton, to help us have some science fun. What are we doing?
Yes, we're going to have a lot of fun today. Today we're going to explore density. And density is how closely packed the molecules are in a particular substance. So the more closely packed the molecules are in a substance, the greater the density will be. So at our table we have several different liquids that we're going to use for this experiment.
Okay.
We have corn syrup.
Alrighty.
We have maple syrup, which some of you at home may be using that this morning.
Right, breakfast time.
We have some dish soap, and we have water that has just a little bit of food coloring so that
let's put a little
it'll
more.
be visual.
Take the cap off. Oh, don't keep doing
Oh
that.
yeah,
It'll
you don't
explode
want to
out.
add too much more.
Sorry. All right, fine.
So we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Inside of this cylinder here, I have the corn syrup already poured into it. So there's our corn syrup.
Okay.
So now I'm going to take maple syrup, and I'm going to pour it into the cylinder, and I want you to observe what happens. So in goes our maple syrup.
Okay.
So consequently, it is more dense.
Well, in just a second,
So this is the gravity impact of it right now.
Yes.
We're going to see something change in a minute.
as you can see,
there we
we're
go.
forming a second layer.
It's separating.
It is. The
Yes.
maple syrup
Looky,
is
looky.
resting on the corn syrup.
Because
It
this
is.
down here is still the corn syrup. This clear
Right.
part, that's not the
Exactly.
base of the,
Gotcha.
the cylinder.
Exactly.
There's our maple syrup on
All
top
I know
of
is
that.
density equals mass over volume.
I'm
There you
impressed that
go.
he wrote that out too. I was very proud of him. Okay, so what's
So we have the corn syrup, we have the maple syrup. So now we're going to add our dish soap. So if you want to pour the dish soap in,
I would love to. Just go
Okay.
the same rate you did?
Yep.
Okay.
and
All
let's
right.
see what happens when we add our dish soap. Okay, so we're pouring that in.
Oh, it's coming up.
And take a look at that.
There we go.
Yeah.
We have a third layer.
You do.
It's all about the layers.
It is all about the layers, definitely. So we have our corn syrup, our maple
Look
syrup,
at that.
and we have our dish soap.
Wow.
And then finally, we're going to add our water.
Yes.
Sure, we're going to let Jay play with the one that could stain us. Okay, good. That's
Yeah, so just
really
take
smart
your
move.
time pouring the water
Oh,
in.
take my time.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna make
yeah.
bubbles.
No rush here.
Look at that.
And take a look at that. We have yet another layer.
Yes, you do.
So this
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, so this is an experiment that we do all the time at the museum. As a matter of fact, last week I did this experiment at Forest City Dunbar Elementary School.
What did the kids think?
Oh, they loved it. The
Right.
kids had a chance to make their own density layers, and they had a blast. It was part of their after-school program.
This is very cool.
That is fascinating.
Yes.
And look, this is the website here. We're going to link you to that at our website, WLOS.com. Click on news links. We'll get you there because you've got a lot going up. You go to the schools, you've got stuff going on at the theater, at the museum itself, and then also summer camps.
Yes, we have summer camps at the museum that are happening this summer, and registration is now open for summer camps. A copy of our camp guide can be found at our website, kidsenses.com. So for some of our summer camps, we're going to create density columns. We'll do other cool chemistry experiments, rocket launches, just a wide variety of science fun.
Joseph,
for the
thank you
summer.
so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank
That's
you.
really cool.